Welcome in, Navigator Nation. I think everything transitioned right for a change this time. How is everybody doing out there? Happy Tuesday to everybody. My name is Mike Hess. I am a COPD dude. With me is my frequent guest star, daughter, social media intern, extraordinaire, college student, many titles. The delightful Emma Hess. So please make sure you give her a nice Navigator welcome here. We've got your questions. We've got hopefully some answers for you. We've got hopefully going to have a good time with everybody today. We've got so make sure you're getting your questions into the chat, whether you are watching us on Facebook or on YouTube or in the Facebook watch party or on Twitch.Maybe you can be the third person to ever watch us on Twitch. Twitch TV/MHessRRT. If you happen to be a gamer, or if you know and love a gamer who needs to learn about COPD, send them that way. Also on Twitter, of course, we've got all kinds of different avenues. If you're new to the program, I am, as I said, Mike Hess. I am known as the COPD dude in certain circles. After a fateful trip in a lazy river on San Antonio, Texas one time.
On San Antonio, Texas?
On the river in San Antonio. Is that better?
Yes.
All right. So keeping me honest with the grammar. So we've got, what do we have? I run a group on Facebook for the last 6 years called COPD Navigator. And we answer your COPD questions. We have since branched out into doing a variety of live shows. We also now have a website that's actually starting to look like a real website now, and not just a gallery of cats. When I first set up the website and imported my podcast, which is called Potato Cast, after one of our cats, all it did was give us the Potato Cast pictures, which are all of potatoes. So for a while, it was the piano music wasn't coming through. I don't know. I didn't change anything in that space, so I don't know. It shouldn't have gone away. That's a bummer if it did. I don't want to lose viewers, but I will certainly look into that and see if we can get that next time. Wouldn't be an episode of any COPD Navigator media if we didn't have some kind of tech issues. Speaking of media, our next, also welcome John. Thank you for stopping by again. Our next endeavor is the long-awaited, well, at least by me, the long-gestating explainer videos for COPD. We had one, or I put one up quite some time ago called about how to use a dry powder inhaler. And then, of course, stuff happens. But now that we're still, well, maybe depending on who you ask, in the middle or in the tail end of the pandemic, probably in the tail end of some of the quarantine situations and things like that. We'll see, fingers crossed. So John, the transition, apparently not a fan of a cover of Pour Some Sugar on Me from Def Leppard. That is just at the transition point. I'm trying to find some music so that it's not quite an abrupt transition from the comforting piano music, apparently, to something else.
Try to blast people's eardrums out.
Apparently, that is not a popular transition, so I'll have to look into that as an alternative. However, at any rate, we're going to be doing some of these things, but in order to do that, one of the first one I have on tap is about explaining why air gets trapped in your lungs with COPD, and also why people end up with a little bit extra carbon dioxide back in their bloodstream. But in order to do that, with the model that I have designed and all that stuff, I wanted to make my fingers look a little bit nicer. As many of you know, oftentimes on Tuesday, Emma will come down here in the quarantine and give us some fancy nail stuff going on. Sometimes just me, sometimes my wife, Kelly Becker, nurse practitioner extraordinaire, will come down and answer some questions too. Today it's just me. Kelly is still wrapping up some clinic business on her end, so it's Emma and I down here getting our nails ready so that I can start filming some of these things tomorrow. Some more of these videos tomorrow.
Are you going to use the plastic bag analogy?
as far as like from a balloon to a
Yes.
that is probably on tap. Yes, yes. Tomorrow is not that one. It's using I have some water, some colored water. Actually, it's colored and flavored. This is some grape something or
Propel.
other. Propel. No, the Propel's still clear. This it is a Propel bottle though. Wish we were sponsored by Propel, but
We buy so much.
this is the high C that comes in the concentrate, the drops. Not high C, crush, grape crush
I
concentrate.
didn't know it came in drops.
I didn't either, but they didn't have the packets, and so I got some. It makes a nice contrasty color,
Purple.
and will all become clear in the next few days as I finish creating the video.
Are you
So-
gonna remake your thing with the balloon where if you pull on it, it inflates?
I'm not sure yet. Not sure yet. That would be another good explainer, though, about generally how the respiratory system works. Yes. So also it's kind of nice because this is the meteorologist appears to have been somewhat mistaken, and this is not the nice day they promised us, which is why I went with another tie-dye. This is from Vermont, New Hampshire. I got this at the Vermont, New Hampshire Society for Respiratory Care a few years back. I got to speak up there. Absolutely fantastic conference. So yeah, this is I wanted to go a little bit more tie-dye. So,
My shirt says mood and it has Baby Yoda on it.
well, you can't go wrong with Baby Yoda.
That's why
All
I
right.
picked it. It's a good
So,
shirt.
make sure that you are getting your questions in there. You truly need Karen or myself as the guest introductory host. I vote Karen. Well, Karen, if you're watching, and actually somehow clicked off the other chat feed, but okay, so Karen, what we need to do, we'll need to do a little bit of recording maybe and see if we can get kind of like the lip sync for lungs that Picori and everybody else did a few years back. And we'll see if we can get, I think that's a great idea, John. I would love to get that intro going, so. We will we'll talk about that some more after if anybody else wants to volunteer too, we can have a competition or something. We can have a rotating series of hosts introducing the COPD dude. Who's the guy from Price is Right? Roddy. That was his name, Roddy. You remember Price is Right from before?
Yeah, I remember The Price is Right. I haven't seen it since I was like 4.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why you're giving me the blank look there, because there was a guy, and off camera here just a little bit is my COPD dude jacket that you have seen during my lip sync for lungs karaoke times. He was the announcer for Price is Right, and
I thought his name was Bob.
Bob Barker.
Oh yeah.
He was the host.
Oh.
But then I also had the announcer that who
Oh.
calls the "Come on down,"
Yeah, okay.
that person.
Yeah. Yeah, I never knew that guy.
He was known for incredibly loud jackets. As a matter of fact, let's see. Well, I can't access the keyboard right now, so I guess we're gonna have to.
That's cool.
Thank you. Yes.
Is that a surprise?
No, this is our Navigator shop. I mentioned it the other day, and I'm hoping to get some of these ordered. You can actually go on our Facebook page now and look at the 3 items we have for sale right now. And hopefully some more things coming soon. Looking at getting some polo shirts and some coffee mugs and stuff like that.
Do they come in different colors?
They come in a variety of different colors and different sizes.
How fun.
So yes, we'll cover that maybe a little bit more when we get done with the nails. But I don't want to mess up the studio.
Right.
We are in fact going to switch over to studio mode now, and get started. So make sure you're dropping in your questions here.
John Linnell says Johnny Gilbert. I think.
Yeah, Johnny Gilbert. Johnny Gilbert Johnny Gilbert was for a while, because I'm pretty sure he also did Family Feud, the real Family Feud with Richard Dawson.
You know, like Steve Harvey.
I mean, he's fine, but it's like Pyramid without Dick Clark. I mean, it's just not the same. There are certain hosts, and of course, I count myself among them. I mean, what would COPD Navigator be without COPD dude? there are certain hosts that are just the show. That's why I don't even really watch Price is Right anymore. The games are the same. I'm sure it's all. I'm sure they have new ones now, but and I like Drew Carey, but it's just it's Bob Barker. Like it's going to be hard to watch Jeopardy
Oh
when
yeah.
Alex retires.
Yeah.
It's just, and I'm sure that people said that about. John's going to be mad at me for this one too. The original host of Jeopardy, Art Fleming.
Alex Trebek did not always host Jeopardy.
He's always hosted the modern incarnation of it, but back in the I believe the '60s when the show actually first started, which it looked like the Weird Al video for "I Lost on Jeopardy."
Vaguely.
Okay, that was the original version of Jeopardy way back, and then it went off the air for a while, and then had kind of a revival, kind of like Doctor Who. And then Alex has always done that, and as well as classic concentration. I always looked forward to being sick on a school day because I get to watch the game shows all morning, and it always kind of blew my mind that he was like on a morning show and a night show.
He also does insurance commercials.
He does.
Fact.
He does.
I
So,
don't remember what insurance, but I know he's in the commercials.
shall we get
Imagine if this actually became a real TV show.
Where is the audio coming from?
Nowhere. Ghost audio.
All right, so that we should have some kind of audio back again. As far, do I need to switch hands?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Trying in the attempt to streamline some of the processes, especially as I'm trying to make it a little bit easier for Emma to be the guest host a little bit more sometimes, or sometimes when we do Fitness Friday.
I run the comment section.
Yes. And so in order to do some of the transitions a little bit better, I've tried to relabel and make some of the things a little bit more clear. Unfortunately, the software isn't always the best at relabeling stuff. So sometimes it comes through and sometimes it doesn't. But so I think we were talking back about LeVar Burton being host of Jeopardy again.
Yes.
After he hits you with the door.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact at the Star Trek convention, if we didn't get that part out.
And Gowron made Legosaurus noises at Joey.
Yes, we had a fantastic time at that Star Trek convention, getting to meet a lot of different people.
Everybody thought my costume was cool.
Yes, you got career advice from John Delancey.
I did.
Which was really neat.
William Shatner thought we looked great.
William Shatner, I know it's 5 minutes or 30 seconds really. And I know it's his job and all that stuff. But for as much as everybody gets on William Shatner, I don't know that I'd want to work with the man. But he was very personable and charismatic and everything else that he said that people say with us and while he gave his presentation. So what do we have for, I know what we're going to, one thing I was going to talk about while we're waiting for more questions to come in. This is,
Navigator Nation.
This is Navigator Nation. This is right about the time that, information will be coming out at, whatchamacallit?
The Who.
What?
The Who.
Not the Who. No, ATS.
Today.
ATS.
I don't know what that is.
The American Thoracic Society. This is the conference that I was supposed to be at. To do the podcast for Gold.
Right.
So that's going on right now. And that is one of our leading sources of information. And I was looking around today because we haven't really gotten a lot of published information lately because a lot of the research trials have been on hold. It's been hard to, and everything's been kind of held a little bit as far as publications and things like that. But now that it is technically ATS time, what's that?
I was just looking at the bottle, but I am paying attention.
No, I wondered, I didn't know if you had a question for me or something. Nope. Now we're starting to get some information and we're starting to see a few different things. So, we're going to talk more about some of this stuff. This would be a good time to mention the upcoming COPD Navigator Ready Room. Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or our website. Got to get used to saying that now, copdnavigator.net, because a lot of the information for how to access our various media efforts will be there. But we're going to this Thursday we're going to be talking about medications. We're going to talk about the different classes. We're going to have a little bit of interactive show and tell about inhalers and technique and all that stuff. Doing it on a Zoom conference, a web conference, gives us a little bit more chance for interactivity. This is, of course, fantastic, and I look forward to reading all the questions and all that stuff. But this way we can actually have a little bit more kind of a conversation or a discussion as we get into the different techniques and things like that. So one of the things that come out in recent days, is they have done some evaluation of sputum, of mucus, all that kind of stuff.
The Sputum Bowl.
The Sputum Bowl, exactly. One of our biggest trivia events for respiratory therapy. And they have found that there are distinct endotypes present in the sputum microbiome in the presence of COPD. This is coming from Pulmonary Advisor.
Need your other hand.
You need the other hand now, so this will be tricky. So there we go. So patients with COPD had distinct endotypes following an analysis of the stuff living in their sputum, according to the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology. Gene sequencing data from the sputum of clinically stable patients with COPD was analyzed. Samples were classified in a couple of different ways. They had 252 clinically stable patients who had this gene sequencing done. This is going to be fun. turns out you can scroll your phone with your nose. Did you know that?
Yes.
All right, wow.
You can scroll with any part of your body
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
for the most part. I mean, it's kind of hard to do it with like your elbow or something, but
True. Most abundant species were Haemophilus, Streptococcus, Neisseria, Villanella, and Prevotella. Clear relationships were observed between microbiome and clinical phenotypes. So, with certain kinds of bacteria, it's going to demonstrate, or that could be easy for me to say,
take your time.
could be an indicator of how severe a case of COPD may get, or what your risk is for frequent exacerbations, going into the hospital, all that kind of stuff. So we are always on a quest for more biomarkers and more predictors and indicators and stuff throughout COPD. And it looks like we may just have found one. So that's pretty cool, huh? I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So particularly
Oh shoot, I forgot to do. Oh well.
Particularly if you had Streptococcus bacteria, you were more likely to be classified as Gold Group D. So that's the highest symptom burden and the highest risk of exacerbation. And that's where we start wanting to get into maybe some antibiotics or some other anti-inflammatories and stuff like that. We have identified microbiome-associated subtypes of COPD associated with clinical phenotypes and increased mortality, according to the studies. And the results support a personalized medicine approach to therapy in COPD. So, again, this is very cool. This was by Dicker, Huang, Lonergan in the Journal of Allergy and Clinical Immunology. So, I haven't read the study yet, so I can't speak to in as much detail as I usually like to, but pretty cool stuff. Another one that I found interesting, and again, I know I don't need to be dominating the whole conversation here, folks. Please feel free to let me know what's on your mind if there's anything. Let's see. I'm going to loop through a little bit and see if there are any comments in areas that I have missed. Let's see. Is that the comment from John earlier? Must be. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. So we'll just we will continue on here. Another study, courtesy of Pulmonary Advisor. This one was specifically going to be presented at the American Thoracic Society International Conference, which apparently is going to be still in a virtual format later this year, which is cool news. I'll be looking forward to that.
They're doing a virtual Pride, Kalamazoo.
Really?
Yeah, on the 6th of June.
I guess that makes sense. There's going to be a lot of virtual events coming up.
I just thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Because I was going to go to Pride this year.
I'm curious as to whether our Michigan, our MSRC conference in the fall, is going to end up going somewhat virtual. We're still planning on doing a lot of live stuff, but I guess we're going to see what happens.
Where was it going to be?
Frankenmuth. That's the one that's always in Frankenmuth.
I know it's always in Frankenmuth.
The one year we went to Saginaw, like nobody came. Is my understanding. So plus there's the chicken in Frankenmuth. I didn't touch anything.
You dinged it on something.
I was super careful not to touch anything.
Okay. Sometimes wet polish just comes right off.
In any event, approximately 1 in 4 current and former smokers with COPD are at risk for mild cognitive impairment and dementia, according to findings that were supposed to be presented at ATS again. While previous research has established the risk for mild cognitive impairment, interestingly, what this is saying is that even if you, apparently this is for smokers smokers with COPD and even those without COPD, because it's telling us that even smokers with a forced expiratory volume in 1 second over the forced vital capacity of greater than zero point 0.7, which is technically not diagnostic for COPD, may still be at risk for, or actually are still at risk for, this cognitive impairment. So even more of a reason that if you are a smoker, please quit as soon as you possibly can. And that's going to be something else that I'm looking at doing as far as an interactive kind of thing, having maybe a support group kind of thing for helping people to quit smoking. Looking at really ramping up a lot of our virtual support options. So if you have any suggestions for what would be helpful, let me know that as well, either in the comments or via email or tweet or whatever. But that should be... that's an interesting thing going forward. You know, we talk a lot in COPD about the potential risks for problems outside the respiratory system, particularly, with the heart, or even, we see a lot of diabetes going along with COPD. And we talk about anxiety and depression, but we don't always necessarily talk about confusion or things like that. Just the basic kind of brain fog kind of stuff. But definitely could be evident in this setting.
Now we will wait for a few minutes.
All right. And the one last thing that I wanted to talk about, not necessarily great news, but definitely interesting news, because we're always looking for our, what I call our ice bucket challenge moment. We're always trying to figure out what can be done to kind of raise the profile of COPD and raise awareness of COPD. And it turns out that another famous person has kind of come out with having COPD. Ian Anderson of Jethro Tull, the jazz flautist, I guess we would call that, was diagnosed with COPD. And I believe, I read this the other day, I read another article about it the other day, and he mentioned that he was attributing it a lot to the chemicals that you use in smoke effects and things like that for stage lights, when they're doing their show, their concerts and stuff. And he attributes a lot of his condition to that. He doesn't go into a lot of detail about the severity of it or anything like that. But he does mention it's been about 18 months since he's had an exacerbation. And he does okay, he says, if he stays in a reasonably pollution-free environment in terms of air quality. He also says that it's not particularly bad day to day so far, other than when he has the exacerbations. So I can't help but think... What's up?
I was just touching it to see if it was ready. It is.
I can't help but think that he might be potentially a good ambassador for a lot of folks with COPD. I know, Jethro Tull was part of my childhood growing up. My parents were big Jethro Tull fans. I don't know if they have a fandom, like, are they Tull heads or something like that? I don't know. But
I've never heard of this band before in my life.
You've heard of Jethro Tull. Aqualung. Dun, 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 Locomotive Breath, but yeah, sitting on a park bench. Aqualung.
Okay, I know that one song.
I know 2 or 3 probably. I mean, but I have 2 or 3 readily accessible. But Jethro Tull is a known quantity. People know Jethro Tull. Maybe? Help me out here, folks. Do people know Jethro Tull? I wish we could throw a poll up for that. Do we, What's that?
Throw up a poll!
Oh, I see. Okay.
Throw up on screen, baby.
Anybody out there, do you know Jethro Tull? Are you a fan of Jethro Tull? Am I talking to a lot of people that... Are you Team Emma and nobody cares about Jethro Tull, or are you...
They do not come up regularly in conversation.
No, they probably don't. They're more of our, when we go to the island, our vacation playlist kind of thing. Kind of going back to childhood and stuff like that. So, but In any event, it has crossed my mind to try to reach out to Mr. Anderson, and now that would be a cool Zoom thing, wouldn't it? If we could get him to be a Navigator only Zoom conference about his experience with COPD, and maybe get some people on board. So if anybody knows anybody from Death Row Tull, I would really appreciate a connection. Otherwise, I'm going to try and reach out and figure out a way to get a hold of him. Hopefully, the fact that Emma's generation may not know him as well may work in our favor. Maybe he's a little bit more accessible than even somebody like a Leonard Nimoy would have been, had we been able to, had we had Navigator back in that day.
He seemed like a cool guy.
I agree. I mean, every time I've seen an interview with Nimoy, I mean, he is one of those people that, they always say if you can have dinner with three famous people throughout history, who would it be? He is always one of the top. Not just because I'm obviously a Trekkie, but because I would love to get his thoughts on being a pop culture idol like that, and playing the character and the role of fandom, and just a lot of the things that he would have seen going through a lot of that stuff. So
especially early fandom.
Yeah, because it seems like early fandom was a lot less toxic than it is these days, and I know I know every generation probably says that, the whole back in my day thing.
We didn't have the internet, so they had to be nicer to each other.
Well, and I kind of wonder about that. Obviously the internet can be a force for good. I like to think what we're doing here is generally positive, but it also can amplify a lot of your worst tendencies, I guess I'd say. It's kind of that whole the cognitive reinforcement, I guess you'd call it, where or the mob mentality. You kind of get it's pre-internet. I think it was a lot harder to assemble an angry mob than it is after internet. Just because geography is a thing. I think it was a lot harder to assemble angry people. Whereas, I know it's not physically assembled, all the angry people, but I do think that, you can get that mob going and you kind of build on everything. And I think that can be a problem. So,
yes.
All right. So this is the final coat. That was
no,
we got more coats to come.
Just one more.
But one more coat for the top coat. So, so these are the nails you're going to be seeing, hopefully, in the upcoming videos. We've got one more coat to go, but let's. Who's got any other questions rolling in here? It's kind of a quiet crowd today. I'm a little bit surprised. Although I think I did not reschedule because I was thinking originally this was an off week for Right to Breathe, but I think they popped up at 4:30, so I think we probably lost some people over there, but which is totally cool. But
we could talk about an episode of Star Trek that I recently learned about.
Okay.
Spock's brain.
Oh boy.
I didn't watch it. I watched somebody.
Speaking of Spock, that's a good transition.
I watched somebody react to it. Why? Also, that's where the belts came from.
The belts?
The green with the green circles they wear in the animated series.
Well, those I think are a little bit different. Those are like life support belts or like force fields and stuff.
Oh, I think that's also where there's a post I see occasionally from Tumblr as a screen grab, and it's somebody who understands Star Trek, please explain this picture. And it's like Kirk and I think Scotty and McCoy on the ground where they're doing their over dramatic pain thing, and Mr. Spock is just kind of because he doesn't have a brain, and it's Mr. Spock is not impressed by the Wiggles or something like that. It's just comedic, but I think that's where that comes from.
So Spock's brain generally is considered one of, if not the absolute worst episodes of Star Trek in general.
Threshold.
However,
Which one in any?
However, there is a very solid contingent of the fandom, including the one Star Trek author that I kind of know, Facebook friends with. I actually got a mention in one of his books because I won a contest. But
Nice.
Dayton Ward will put up an episode called "And the Children Shall Lead."
Oh, I've heard of that one, but I've not seen it.
That one's pretty rough. Has actually a famous lawyer, I believe his name is Melvin Belli, is the evil ghost guest star. Yeah.
Are we talking Sub Rosa Ghost or just
not
evil
quite,
ghost?
not quite that friendly. But although his name is the friendly something, the friendly angel, I can't remember exactly what it was, Gorgon or something like that. But in any event, basically orphans some kids and then tries to take over their minds to kill off all the people on the Enterprise so that he can have ship, because then it kind of goes back to the whole what does God need with the starship thing. But yeah, it's rough.
The original series is going to be fun.
Yeah.
I have seen 3 episodes all the way through from the original series.
So if you like this content, look for Knit Treks coming soon. Well, we've got one episode up on YouTube because they finally passed that through the copyright infringement stuff. But if you're looking for more hard-hitting Star Trek content to go along with your COPD information, check that out. What else we got coming up this week? We got harmonicas will be coming up tomorrow, as we're still waiting literally for paint to dry. We're watching paint dry.
I think we're ready to do the top coat.
All right. So yeah, we've got harmonicas coming up tomorrow. We've got our Zoom webinar coming up on Thursday. We'll have Fitness Friday again coming up on, as you might expect, Friday.
It's on Thursday.
I don't know.
Special surprise day.
Oh, Thursday. Well, I don't know what we're doing on live on Thursday, but Thursday is our Zoom conference day. So, what kind of workout should we do this week? What haven't we done yet?
Well, I was going to suggest Ring Fit, but we can't do Ring Fit because I think the boys have the game.
Well, we did just do it. We did a video game thing last week. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We should find like the silliest workout we can find.
Okay.
Like whether it's on YouTube or
Comedy workout.
Yeah, we need to do. We'll find silly workouts. Anybody have any silly workouts they want to share?
Bashir's silly breathing exercises.
Maybe that's another thing we could do though is funny things that we see in media.
All Kira wanted to do was meditate, and he was like,
I would suggest meditate. Oh shit! Sorry. I think I just touched.
language, Captain.
I know. I lost my streak. I think we're on 39 of these shows, and I have not said anything inappropriate until just there. So I guess it's a good thing. I think we only have 2 people watching right now. So,
Tough crowd.
like I said, there's some other stuff going on today, and I don't take it personal. Let's see. So we'll find silly workouts, and so that we can have a little bit of fun with it. We'll see if we can get Kelly on board this time too.
Woohoo.
So
This is my favorite combination of nail polish.
it's quite nice.
I wish Christine would tell us what the next collection is, because she's posted some pictures with the colors grayed out on Instagram, and it looks great.
So, well, Christine, if you're watching, if we could get maybe an exclusive for COPD Navigator, that would be great. These are what we call the Holo Taco Collection from Christine with no H out of Canada. One of Emma's favorite YouTubers. It is quite good stuff, actually.
Yeah, very high quality.
And like I said, so here is the finished product now. I'll try and get a little rainbow sparkle there going in the Holo Cam. So these will be the fingers of CO2 and whatever other kind of explainers we can do before we need to do a recoat. And that's going to be fun. So get ready for the Holo. Oh, hey, there we go. Oh, okay, that's where we went. So so John was watching sitting on a park bench. So we did have some people, but somehow that screen got covered.
Unified chat. We always have issues with the unified chat.
Well, unified actually, and then also Jenny. Hello, Jenny. Also saying hello to Emma.
Hi.
It's hard to do the chat sometimes just because there's a couple of different windows that we look at. I could probably... It's a trade-off between making it simple for people to use and simple for us to read. So it's always trying to find the common ground there. It can be a little bit tough, but yeah.
I just looked over at my books, and I'm pleased to note that my Captain Kirk autobiography was not one of the ones that got wet.
Yes, we're still trying to recover a little bit from the infamous flood of Mucophile Studio here not terribly long ago. Last week, I guess.
Last week. It was last Wednesday?
Yeah, it was last Wednesday because we had to cancel last Wednesday's house call.
I had a bunch of stuff in storage back there because I moved in over the summer.
So, yeah, we've been able to recover from that and sort through some of the stuff and everything else. So,
but some of my books were ruined, which is sad.
So, not too many, but yeah, we did. You lost. I think you lost a Harry Potter book and a handful of other.
Oh, that's must have been a duplicate Harry Potter book.
Oh, okay.
I think all of my ones are upstairs.
Well, that's good then.
Yes, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. And so the cleanup continues. Not a lot of stuff ruined. Fortunately, not the video equipment wasn't ruined or anything like that. That would have been the most expensive thing to repair. But yeah, we're still recovering from that pretty well, and got to figure out what books of Emma's need to be replenished and repaired. And
most of them actually do look okay. I think there's only a couple, and then a sketchbook.
Fortunately, we were able to get it just in time, so whatever was actually like physically on the floor, the bottom layer, that's what we lost. So there weren't a whole lot of stacks, but I think you lost a couple of. There was that poofy bulletin board. I don't know if that's salvageable or not.
It's okay.
All right, so we've got our nails accomplished and ready to go, prepped up for a lot of our filming tomorrow. We've got about 10 minutes to go before the top of the hour, so this is a great time for any last-minute questions coming in. If you have any questions about how to access the Zoom conference coming up on Thursday, if you have any suggestions for topics that we should cover tomorrow or through the rest of the week, that would be fantastic. If you just want to say hello, that's also fantastic.
You should learn how to play the piano man.
On the harmonica?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We've got some time to do that. We can get since we don't need the stage anymore. Let's see
a preview.
Yeah, let's see if we can find a little bit of. Oops.
No.
What's that about?
What?
Oh, just all of a sudden one of the computers started a random program.
That's fun. My computer likes to start Spotify. I don't know why. It's just every time it turns off, it turns back on. Spotify pops up. And it's like, I'm running now, even though I didn't tell Spotify to run. And then my computer gets angry at me if I run YouTube and Photoshop at the same time.
All right, so the intro to Piano Man.
Ooh.
Well, I think I had it for a second there. That's not. Was the flood from all the rain, Kim asked. No, actually, Kim, last week, prior to the monsoon that's been happening for the last 4 days now, or whatever it is, our sewer line backed up.
From a tree root?
They weren't really clear. They could see whatever the occlusion was from out in the yard at that clean out, but they weren't real clear because, social distancing and everything. We're trying to talk through the window and all that stuff, but it was something that came up through the sump or whatever in the other half of the basement here, and just fortunately it wasn't any real nasty sewage or anything like that, but it was still wastewater, so it was kind of gross.
Smelled pretty bad.
It did. Whoops. I can't think of the da 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 da. See that? Oh, hey, there it is. Now I'm just not good at it. So I can get those first two lines. Okay, I got that kind of figured out now. That. Yeah.
It was 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah.
We're just having double cam
Piano Man
here today.
Oh, it's still in dual cam mode. I thought I turned that off. Nice. Showing off my quarantine 15 there. There we go. All right, we're having fun though. So yeah, that's COPD Navigator, folks. We've got harmonicas on Wednesday. We've got some kind of throwback on Thursday, probably. I think I was getting ready to look at some of the older, like when I very first started doing the Breathe TV, or the night before COPD Navigator Live, like when I did it for my office.
Wednesdays.
See how far things go. Oh, Stephanie just joined in. Stephanie, if you're watching, this one is for you. You tuned in just as we finished Piano Man. That one was too many notes. But Stephanie Williams joining in. My cat. My cat doesn't like your harmonica playing either. Awesome. She was laying on my lap until you started playing, that she jumped down. That's what she does to me. Now it's interesting when Potato,
harmonica.
Our cat Potato, comes down here. She may be elsewhere in the basement or something like that. As soon as she hears the harmonica, she will come check it out. So
She's interested.
Maybe she thinks she's rescuing another cat because there's a disaster. I don't know, but Stephanie is who taught me about harmonicas for health from the COPD Foundation. So I wanted to make sure that since you had popped in, come back tomorrow at 4:00, and we'll see maybe some more Piano Man or stuff like that.
We could have an epic space battle with your models over there.
Oh, we could. Yeah, that's maybe another thing we could do. We could have. Actually, for a minute, I actually had. I was trying to see if I could figure out how to recreate that scene from Search for Spock. As a matter of fact, speaking of Spock before, where the ships were just kind of, they were kind of hanging out. I couldn't quite line that up properly with our action figures over here, and I'm trying to be real careful because I don't know that these are 100% dry. So
you should show off your Cloak Defiant.
Oh yes, and the latest addition to the fleet is for the Deep Space Nine fans out there. We've had the original USS Defiant. Well, I should say the original because the original was from the original series and was much like the Enterprise. And then we also have one with the cloaking device activated.
Now I fixed it because it came broken.
Yes. In addition to her many talents here on Navigator Live or Kyle's Call.
You gotta be careful. This is a little loose.
The engine pod?
Just the bottom here.
Huh. So yeah, one last thing I would be remiss as we're getting ready to wrap things up here. We, as I mentioned before, actually have our COPD Navigator shop starting to go up and running. See if I can get the window capture going here. Yes, there we go. We'll put it, whoops, that's grabbing the wrong thing. Put it kind of between us here. This is our shop. I'm watching on the delay there, making the Starship whooshy noises. This is our shop. Right now we have t-shirts and sweatshirts. Just started trying to raise profile, raise awareness for COPD stuff. Of course, all proceeds go into this fine original content as well as anything else we can get going. So make sure you share that with your friends too. We're looking forward to adding some new things. Coffee mugs and maybe some polo shirts and hats and stuff like that. So
that's a hat for tennis.
I could wear a hat for tennis. So that is our latest addition to the COPD Navigator family over at copdnavigator.net. So we'll go ahead and wrap things up today so that if anybody is interested, you can still catch the tail end of the... and speaking of COPD Foundation, I believe Thursday also is a COPD Foundation webinar. Stephanie can probably tell us a little bit more detail about that, but I believe we've got another webinar coming up from those fine folks related to the ongoing pandemic, the elephant in the room, of course, and living well with COPD in the face of said pandemic. So... hey Joe, thanks for coming in at least for a few minutes. I appreciate you stopping by. Hope you had enjoyed your nap. This has been a good nap day, not to throw too much under the bus, but Emma was taking a good nap earlier while I was doing some of the prep for the show today. So
that was a good nap.
That was a good nap. 4 Eastern time Thursday. Well, shoot. Cannibalizing my audience there, COPD Foundation.
We'll just have to go early.
Yeah, we could probably go a little early. We'll go at 3 o'clock on Thursday. So schedule change. We'll go at 3 o'clock on Thursday so that we can lead into the COPD Foundation webinar. I will have to, that will give us a little bit more time between that and the Zoom conference. Hey, Stephanie, maybe we can get a shout out for the Zoom conference on Thursday night. Love my folks at the COPD Foundation, so. But, so we will do house call at 3. We'll do the COPD Foundation webinar at 4, and then we will have our Navigator Ready Room Zoom conference at 7. So it'll just be a whole day of COPD stuff. All your COPD answers ready to go for you, and everybody will have a good time. So Jamie had mentioned a couple weeks ago that we gotta we could get together on some more of this stuff. So we gotta do a little bit more cross programming. Still trying to build that audience. We gotta get some of this here and Navigator and Right to Breathe, and we gotta get our network of our COPD family of shows together. We need we need a streaming service. We need a Hulu. We need a Netflix, but just all COPD stuff. So that's your homework. You gotta look at how do you start your own streaming service and then get it on things like Roku and stuff like that.
We could do what Quibi did.
We could potentially do what Quibi did. So,
but they failed. So we don't
already.
Everyone hates it. They're meant for like 10-minute bites, but because everybody's at home and at lunch during quarantine,
no, everybody's got more than 10-minute bites.
So they're all watching it all the way through with they did this 90 days free, and everybody's just watching all the content, so they don't have to pay for it, and then they're just gonna be done, and Quibi's not gonna make any money.
So Stephanie does ask, looking for a harmonica player on a Facebook Live event. I would be happy to help, as evidenced by my piano man. I am not particularly good. So if that fits your needs, let me know. I can do a mean Mary Had Little Lamb. I can almost do that from memory, as a matter of fact. I don't... No, I can't. I can do it...
with the tabs. I don't understand the tabs.
Well, you'll just have to tune in tomorrow, and we'll go over how the tabs work.
I don't have a harmonica.
I found all my spare harmonicas in the car. No, yeah, in that jar in the car jar. Do me a favor and type Mary Had a Little Lamb. Oh wait, we'll just do Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Thanks, Google search. So I can do a pretty mean Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Whoop, as I fail miserably at it.
This is like when you finally learn something and then you're like, I got it, and then
I don't
get
it. So, yeah. Bringing it on home. That's our show for today, folks. Thank you again for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the nails. Hope you had a good time. If you're catching us on Facebook, make sure to check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/COPD Navigator. Make sure you check out our new webpage, copdnavigator.net. Exercises to improve posture and balance. Okay. Maybe we'll add that onto the list for Friday. We'll do a little bit of posture and balance, and we'll have some fun with wacky exercise. We'll see what we can do there. We'll definitely have some of those. We'll have some short takes coming up with other exercises and things like that. And that's what we'll be doing. Follow us on Twitter, like, share, and subscribe. All of our different channels here on Facebook, here on YouTube, there on Twitter, here, there, everywhere. Here a channel, there a channel, everywhere a channel. COPD dude had a channel. EIEIO. Much love to everybody out there. Please continue to take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And as always, continue to breathe lightly. My name is Mike Hess. To my left, your right is Emma Hess. We had a good time today. Hope you did too. We will see you back here tomorrow at 4 o'clock for yet another edition COPD Navigator House Call. Till then, take care, everybody.